For the record, I'm done trying to make y'all comfortable. For the record, you ain't trying to grow, then it's done for you. For the record, lab on me going all the way. For the record, ain't trying to link, no time to waste. For the record, for the record, yeah. For the record, for the record, yeah. For the record, for the record, for the record. Been a little too nice to y'all. Now I gotta up price on y'all. Snake eyes on dice for y'all.
Hey, what's up, ladies and gents? So today, I'm gonna jump right into it. Today, we're gonna discuss 3 easy steps to smash your day. 3 easy steps to smash your day. That's what we're gonna talk about today. So, first off, let me tell you this story. It's a story I've told before, but I'm gonna tell it again. There's this old chef. He's a dad. And he has this problematic daughter. And his daughter is working with him one day. She comes in, she says, "Dad, I'm so tired of this. Tired of life. I only go through problems after problem, setback after setback, obstacle after obstacle, failure after failure. I'm just done with it all. I'm so sick of it." He says, "Sweetheart, I understand, but while you're here, help me out real quick. Help me in the kitchen." She says, "Okay, Dad." He says, "Put 3 pots of water on the stove. In one pot, I want you to put potatoes. In another pot, I want you to put eggs. And another pot, I want you to put coffee." And she says, "Okay, Dad, I got it." And so, of course, these 3 items take a little time to get finished. And when they're done, he says, "Okay, I want you to pour the water out the pot of potatoes. Pour them in a bowl. I want you to pour the water out of the eggs that you boiled, and I want you to put those in a separate bowl. And then I want you to take that coffee that you boiled and pour it into a cup." And he says, "Okay, I want you to put your hand in the bowl of potatoes and tell me how they feel." So she reaches in and she starts jostling around and squeezing the potatoes. She said, "Oh, they're warm and they're soft." I said, "You're right. Mashed potatoes now." He says, "Now reach in the pot and tell me about the eggs. What do you feel?" She says, "Oh, Dad, they're hard." He says, "That sounds about right. They're hard-boiled eggs." "Now tell me about the coffee, daughter. Tell me about the coffee, sweetheart." She says, "Oh, Dad, it's beautiful. It tastes amazing. It's aromatic." And he says, "Okay." He said, "Sweetheart, all 3 of those items went through the same problem, same obstacle, same failure, same setback. They all went through the heat of boiling water. The potatoes went in hard, came out soft. The eggs went in with a thin, hard outer shell, came out hard. And the coffee created something entirely new." And he looked at her, as any father would, very concerned, and he said, "Which one are you going to be?" And I bring that story up for this reason and this reason alone. Which one are you going to be? You see, we wake up each and every single day and we encounter obstacle after obstacle, setback after setback. And we think to ourselves, "Lord, why is this happening to me? Why does this always got to happen to me? I'm so sick and tired of life. I'm over it. I'm done with it. I'm done with that job. I'm done with school. I'm done with that relationship. I'm done with these problems after problems." And yet we fail to understand and realize that everybody goes through this. It's life. We all encounter things. We all endure pain. We all endure obstacles. We all endure failure. We all endure heartache. We all endure mental anxiety, frustration. We all endure these things. Things aren't new. And we never understand or reconcile with the fact that these things are also happening to everybody around us. And yet they're still out there succeeding. They're still out there progressing. They're still out there accomplishing their goals. They're still out there accomplishing their dreams. They still go to bed at night passionate about the things that they want to do in this life. They go to bed happy. They go to bed determined. They go to bed hungry. They go to bed ready for the next day. They can't wait till the sun rises again. What makes them so different? The way they reacted to what was endured. We've all failed a test. Some of us has experienced divorce, separation from your children. You didn't make the football team, the basketball team, the baseball team, the soccer team. You didn't get that job or that promotion that you were seeking. You didn't get into that university that you was chasing after. It's okay. It's okay. If you got a pen and paper, notebook, cell phone with notes on it, whatever it may be, write these things, 3 things down. Raw, R-A-W, raw. And this is a simple act that we can all do each and every single day. If we got to physically go look in the mirror, then go do so. This is something that we can all practice each and every single day. So when we go throughout our day and we encounter these problems, we need to be able to bring ourselves back to center and begin to troubleshoot outwards. Start internally and troubleshoot externally. Make sure you're not the problem. Make sure you're the person reacting in the wrong way to these events. Make sure you're not that a person. Make sure that's not you. You have to begin to diagnose you. That's why it's always important to look in the mirror each and every single day and give yourself this raw perspective. And when I mean raw, talking about these 3 words I'm about to give you. The first one is realistic. Don't lie to yourself. Be true and honest about who you are, what you have become, how you contributed to the problem, how you could have de-escalated the problem, how you escalated the problem. What didn't you do correctly to make sure that the outcome was different than what you have experienced? These things are important because far too many of us have this high, grandiose idea of ourselves, and we fail to bring ourselves down to reality and recognize that our stuff stinks too. We're not as good as we say we are. We don't speak like we say we speak. We don't study like we say we study. We don't read like we say we read. We don't perform on that job and complete those tasks like the boss man asked us to in the way that he asked us to do them. We don't put the effort in, but yet we still expect the same outcome as those who have done everything necessary to exceed at that task, at that goal, at that event. You got to be realistic and honest with yourself and look in the mirror and recognize that you're not as good as you think you are. You're not as good as you think you are. You're not as good as you think you are. You're not as good as you think you are. You heard it here first. Now go back and tell yourself that. Give yourself a realistic view of yourself. Second one is A, raw, accurate. Ties into the first one. But make sure the view of who you are and everything you have done is straight to the point. Get straight to it. Don't beat around the bush. Don't sugarcoat it. If you suck, then you suck at that. Don't generalize. Be realistic and accurate in your view. This is how you determine. These two things is how you determine what happens in the third step. Because the third step, if you screw the first two up, will amplify the problem. I guarantee it. Because if you can't look at things realistically and you can't look at things accurately, then you certainly can't do this last step. Because this last step is your number one problem to begin with. The last one is W. W stands for without ego. You have to look in the mirror, ladies and gentlemen, each and every single day and look at yourself and troubleshoot and diagnose you from a realistic standpoint, from an accurate standpoint, and do it without ego. Those three things matter. Those three things will get you to your goal each and every single time because you lay everything bare. You lay everything bare. You know who you are. You know how you got there. You know where you went wrong. You know what you've done right. You know how you can get better. You know how you can excel at the things that you're doing better and work at the things that you're not doing so great. But you have to be realistic and you have to be accurate. And you got to do it without ego. Lose these grandiose idea of yourself. It doesn't help you. It doesn't help you when you go to diagnose these problems. It harms you. It harms you. It prevents you from progressing. It prevents you from getting better. It prevents you from going from sick to well. It prevents you from going from mediocre to good. It prevents you from going from good to great. It prevents you from going great to excellent. It prevents you from going from excellent to master. Lose the ego. It's not helping you. It's not helping you. It's not helping you. Be realistic with yourselves. You know, oftentimes when I go to the gym, I look in the mirror and I oftentimes think to myself, like, am I suffering from body dysmorphia? And I just sit there and I critique myself like, okay, your neck is good. Your shoulders and your traps are good. Your delts are good. Your pecs can be better. You need to do some more cardio to get rid of that stomach. You know, your legs not as, and I critique myself. But I'm 100% raw in critiquing myself. I don't have abs because I like to eat. I don't have abs and I have a stomach because my nutrition sucks. See how that's realistic and accurate? I know I don't do the cardio that I'm supposed to be doing. I know that I don't eat the way I'm supposed to be eating. Those are both realistic and accurate, straight to the point and raw, without fudge, without sauce, without sugar on top. Straight to the point, Charles. You don't eat like you're supposed to eat. You don't do the cardio that you're supposed to be doing. That's why you aren't getting the results that you are looking in the mirror for. They're not there because there was no work put in to reward that result. I hope y'all understand what I'm saying. And lose the ego. You got to get rid of it. When you are diagnosing these problems that you're going through, I don't care what it is, you got to lose the ego. Show some humility in these moments. I don't care what it is. I don't care if you're suffering from addiction, alcoholism, depression, anxiety, heartache, pain, struggle, the failure of a test, the failure of a job, the you've been let off, you've been let go, you got a bad performance review. I don't care what it is. You have to make absolutely certain that there's no ego involved, because it is at that moment you can begin to go to war with the problem. See, you start with a raw perspective. And then once you've worked through all three of those steps, once you look at things realistically, once you look at things accurately, and once you lose your ego, ladies and gentlemen, you just flip it around and go forward attacking the problem. You go to war with the problem. Because now you can solve your problem without ego. Now you can solve the problem and get straight to the point, pinpoint accurate. Ooh. And now you can become to realize a realistic solution. You see how that's reversed? Man, don't you love the laws of nature, laws of physics? For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. Just like I can use raw, I can go to war with my problems. Once I figure out and diagnose the problem, I can go to war finding a solution. I can be realistic, accurate, and without ego to diagnose the problem, but I can also get rid of ego, be accurate, pinpoint to solving that particular problem, and be realistic about the solution. I'll even add another one in there. Let me add a little bit more. Let me sprinkle some on top. Is that okay with y'all? Is that okay? I don't know if you ride in the car, if you're sitting at home, just say okay. Yes, Charles, I want more. Sprinkle some on top, Charles. Give me some more. Ultimately, at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, you got to be committed to you. Are you committed to you the way you're committed to everybody else? Are you committed to you the way you're committed to that job? Are you committed to you the way you're committed to the gym? Are you committed to you the way you're committed to that team? Are you committed to you the way that you're committed to that other person in the relationship? Are you committed to you the way that you're committed to that social status? Are you committed to you the way you are committed to everything externally? Because one thing I don't want you to do is get to a place in your life, in the future, down the road, and realize that you're not the person that you sought to be from the beginning. And now you're at a place where you understand and have to recognize that you have poured so much time and energy into this thing that you never wanted to begin with. You're now in a place that was never your intended goal. You're now stuck doing something that you never intended to do. And it's painful and it's hurtful because now you have to come to reconcile with the fact that you done poured all this time and energy, i.e. life. One thing you can never rewind and get back. And it's all for nothing. You done gave this job everything that you can give them and they still let you go. You done gave that person, your loved one, your spouse, you done gave them everything that you can give them and it still didn't work out. You done put everything into that test. Everything towards that degree. everything towards that career path, and they let you go as if you meant nothing. You have to be committed to you in order to live with this perspective. In order to go to war with your problems and accomplishing your goals, you got to know what you come from. You got to know who you are. You got to determine from the beginning who you can be, who you want to be. And you got to look at it from a raw perspective. That's the only way we get ahead in this life. That's the only way we do the things that we want to do. That's the only things we do the things that we need to do. That's the only way we find happiness. That's our passion. Human beings tend to be innately selfish. Some selfishness is okay. You got to be committed to you. You got to be committed to you. Because in order to be committed to you, then you can commit to being the best you that you can be so that you can go out here and help those who need help. The worst thing in the world is to listen to a teacher that don't even believe in him or herself. Excuse me, Miss Johnson, is that, can you explain that math problem again? I don't understand 1 + 2 = 3. Can you explain that? Well, I don't know, CJ. How this is what I heard in the past, CJ. I can't really explain it. 1 + 2 = 3. That's just something that don't even sound confident. CJ, I'm gonna tell you what. Hold up 2 fingers on one hand and 1 finger on the other. Now, what I want you to do is count them individually, CJ. Can you do that for me? Yes, Miss Johnson, I can do that. Okay, CJ. Start on the left hand. On the left hand, you put up 1 finger on the left hand and 2 fingers on the right hand. Okay, Miss Johnson, I'm holding them up. Now, how many fingers do you have on the left hand, CJ? 1, Miss Johnson. Okay. How many you have on the right hand, CJ? 2, Miss Johnson. Okay. Now, if you put them together, CJ, how many do you have now? Count them for me, CJ. 1, 2, 3. That's right, CJ. You have 1, 2, and 3. 1 + 2 = 3, CJ. Now you know why 1 + 2 = 3? Because if you count everything individually, it equals 3. It equals 3. That's why 1 person doesn't equal 3 people. 3 people equals 3 people. If you have 1 person standing in the room and you add 2 more people, it equals 3 people, CJ. Now you understand? Yes, Miss Johnson, I understand. 2 totally different perspectives of teaching. One sounds unsure of herself. The other one can explain confidently in detail exactly why that principle works. Imagine if I got on this microphone and I didn't believe anything I'm saying. Well, guys, you just got to look at things from a raw perspective. You got to be realistic, accurate, and without ego, man. This is just something I heard from around the way. I haven't actually experienced this or done these principles on my own. It's just something I watched on TV, guys. I think Les Brown, I think E.T., I think Tony Robbins, I think Trent Shelton, I think, somebody from back in the day said something, and I just watched them from afar. I don't know, guys. I think it works. Guys, you can accomplish your goals each and every single day if you look at things from a raw perspective, if you're realistic about who you are, if you're accurate and pinpoint to the point about what the problem is, and if you go at problem solving without an ego, I promise you, you can accomplish anything you want to accomplish in this world. Then you flip that joker backwards. You get WAR. You get war. You look at things from a raw perspective, and then you go to war making a solution. You go to war with that problem. That's the difference. That's the difference. This is how you get beyond limitations. This is how you get beyond obstacles. This is how you get beyond setbacks. This is how you get beyond those problems in your life that seem insurmountable. And this is how you surmount them. This is how you overcome them. If you truly believe in your talents and your gifts and your goals and your aspirations, your ideas, your dreams like you say you do, then back up for a minute. Get that raw baseline perspective. Then once you put everything in line, you go to war solving that problem. You go to war solving that problem. So let's just go back for a little bit. Let's just review. Raw. This is the beginning of the troubleshooting, the diagnosis of you. Of any problem you encounter in life, this is how you do it. If you didn't write it down before, please write it down again. Commit it to memory. If you want to, man, I got to go at this thing raw. Man, I'm about to go at my fitness goals raw. I'm about to go at accomplishing my goal of being an astronaut raw. I'm about to accomplish my goal of becoming a public speaker. I'm about to be raw. I'm about to look in the mirror each and every single day with a raw perspective to solve the problems that I'm facing, because I need to make sure that when I look at these things, that I'm 100% realistic, that I'm accurate, and I make sure that I hit the mark, and that I do it without an ego so I don't create or amplify the problem and escalate things to a place that they were never supposed to go. And then you know what? Once I figure out what the problem is, I'm going to go to war with that thing. And then I'm going to start without an ego. So that way I'm humble. And I know that when I come to the problem and I form the solution, that I'm going to do it and not think that I'm better than what I was, because I'm going to work on that thing progressively. I'm going to get better at solving that problem progressively. I'm going to get better at lifting weights progressively. I'm going to get better at studying for that test progressively. And I'm going to go to war with this thing. Second thing, I'm going to make sure I'm accurate. I don't want to just be good at math. I want to be good at addition. I want to be good at subtraction. I want to be good at division. I want to be good at algebra. So therefore, I know the areas in which I need to get better, and I want to hit the mark. Saying I want to be good at something is too general. I need to be accurate and pinpoint. I want to be a better soldier. I need to make sure I do my cardio so I can get a better PT score. I need to go out there and do more push-ups so I can get a better PT score. I need to do more sit-ups so I can get a better PT score. I need to study the rules and regulations of the military so I can get better at the board. You need to be accurate and pinpoint. And then you need to be realistic about the solution. Don't get to the end of solving the problem and realize that the solution is not realistic. Because had you not used your ego in the beginning, then it would have been realistic to end with. This is why you flip the 3. This is why you look at things from a raw perspective. I'm about to go at this thing raw. And then once I diagnose the issue, I'm going to flip that bad boy around, and I'm going to go to war creating a solution. You decide to go to college. What's the first step? Be realistic. What do you need to get better at? Are your test scores where they need to be when you take that entrance exam? Do you need work in some areas? That's called reality. Okay, you're not as good as somebody else who's entering college at math. So you don't start where they start. You start where you can get better, where you can progress. You start at college algebra. You still get the same 3 credits. So what? They're in honors math and AP math. So what? You still get the same 3 credits. That's called realistic. So you want to graduate college and you know you need to get better in certain areas, but you can't just work towards anything. You don't just graduate college and they give you all the degrees. No, I'm gonna get my bachelor's. I'm gonna get my bachelor's in business and law and mathematics, ecology, biology, nursing. No, that's not how it works. You need to be accurate. Choose a major. Choose a major. This is why it's important to be realistic. What are you good at? What are you not good at? Reality. Reality is Charles Johnson. I wanted to be a doctor. I was broke. Reality is I wanted to be a doctor, but I didn't have the scores because I was a terrible student in high school. That's the reality. So once I'm realistic, then I can accurately decide and pinpoint what I'm going to work at. I'm going to pinpoint the problem. And I'm going to do it without ego. Because I don't want to get so far down the road and realize that I'm not as good as I thought I was because my character sucked. And now I put myself in a position that my character can't get me out of. Because I thought I can just glide through doctorate school only to realize that it requires work. And my character says that I like to be lazy. Get so far down the road of joining the military and your character says that you don't like to work hard. But if you do this appropriately and you're able to flip this thing around and start going to war towards the solution, this is how you turn things around. 3 simple steps. 3 simple steps to smash your day. That's what this is all about. Because in reality, yes, it's okay to have, a 5-month plan, a 1-year plan, a 2-year plan, a 3-year plan, a 4-year plan, a 5-year plan. But if you can't get to the end of today without accomplishing a goal, without putting into practice this principle, I promise you in the next 5 years, you're going to be exactly where you are today. I promise you in 5 years, if you do not practice these things because you can't get through the day, you'll be exactly where you are right now in 5 years. And the only difference is the pain of regret will have multiplied. The shame that you feel for being in the exact same place that you were 15 years ago will multiply. That's the only difference. That's the only thing that's going to change if you do not apply these principles. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to go hard and you're going to hustle smart, you better go raw and you better be realistic and accurate and do it without an ego. And then when you figure out what the problem is, you turn that bad boy around and you go to war finding that solution. Get into that solution. Get into that goal. And never forget, it's all begins. You need to be committed to you. Put your energy where it belongs. Put your energy in the right place. You do not want to get to the end of this process only to realize that the very thing that you cannot get back, your life, your time, you wasted on someone, something, or someplace. That'll hurt more than anything in this world. I promise you. I promise you. Ladies and gentlemen, you all are awesome, amazing, wonderful human beings. Don't let anybody tell you anything different. You have all the tools necessary and required to win. Do not let failure put blinders on you and make you think that your current limitations are your forever limitations, because I promise you, you can get past them. You just got to look at this thing from a raw perspective. Do like Dave Chappelle said. Sometimes you need to step back from the elephant and get the whole point of view, because while you're up close to the elephant, all you see is that little patch of the elephant. But if you take a few steps back, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? You can see the whole elephant. Get that raw perspective and then go to war getting to the solution and your goals. Ladies and gentlemen, I love each and every single one of you. Please have an awesome, amazing day, month, year, hour, whatever you're currently facing. Go do it in such an amazing way that even your failure will be glorified. You all have a good one. And if you haven't done so already, please take this time to tune in to Grind Hard, Hustle Smart. You can find us on all major podcasting platforms. You can find us on Amazon. You can find us on Apple Music. You can find us on Stitcher. You can find us on Radio Public. You can find us on Spotify. You can find us on every major podcasting platform. Also, you can go to thecharlesjohnson.com and get more information with me. Leave me your email address. Place yourself on the email listing so that you can get updates about what I'm doing, what I'm going to do, and just stay in contact with me. You can also buy the podcast merchandise at thegrindishard.com. Again, thegrindishard.com. Ladies and gentlemen, you all have a good one. Woo! Let's go.